to your shoulder-focused workout. We're going to do a strength circuit with dumbbells, and then we're going to do a resistance band burnout. For dumbbells, you would want a medium set and then a drop set that is a few pounds lighter. I like to have options, so I have a set of 10s, a set of 8s, and a set of 5s. First round through, I'll probably just use 10s and 8s. The 5s are in case I need to go lighter. And then for the resistance band loop, I would go light with your band, trust me, because we're going to be doing lateral raises and you're going to need to get a decent range of motion out of it. So if it's too tight, you're not going to be able to move it. For the strength circuit, I give you 5 exercises. You do them each for 40 seconds with 15 seconds of rest in between. When you complete all 5, I give you a full minute to recover before repeating. In total, we complete 3 sets of the circuit. For the resistance band burnout, it's a 90-second series, so you go 90 seconds straight. You then rest for 30 seconds before repeating. In total, we do 4 sets of that one, twice on each side. And in between the circuit and the resistance band work, I'll give you a full minute to recover, and during that time, I'll give you a preview of the band work. If you like the structure of this class, I have several more available on Patreon, one focused on biceps, one on triceps, and one on quads, with more coming. We'll start class with a guided warm-up focused on mobility, and we'll finish up with some stretches to cool down. Let's start kneeling. If kneeling is uncomfortable, though, you could start in a cross-legged seated position instead. I want you to bring your hands behind your head, and we're just going to do a little cat-cow. So as you inhale, I want you to open up through the elbows, chest opens up, gaze shifts up slightly, we come into spinal extension, and then as you exhale, close the elbows in, round up and over. Inhale, open up. Exhale, flex forward. Inhaling into the nose, expanding through the rib cage. Exhaling out slowly through the mouth. Ribs move gently in and down. One more time. And then I want you to stack the spine up tall to neutral. Now, maintaining a neutral spine, I'm going to just turn to face the back so you can see me. We're going to do a little shoulder mobility drill. To start, I just want you to straighten those arms up in a V shape. Now you're going to flip the palms so that they face back behind you as you sweep the arms down. Stay open through the chest. You're going to bend the elbows and bring those hands behind your back. You're going to straighten the arms out, flip the palms forward as you sweep up, bend at the elbows, hands behind your head to the starting position. Keep moving like that. It's slow and controlled. So your challenge here is to move within that shoulder joint without changing the shape of your spine and without flaring open through the front of your rib cage. Let's do this one more time. And from the starting position, you can stay kneeling. I want you to reach your arms out in a T shape. Inhale, grow tall through the spine. And then as you exhale, I want you to twist over to the right. I want you to take this left hand and bring it to the outside of your right knee. And then we're going to trace circles with this back right elbow. So I'm doing it with a bent elbow so I don't hit my couch, but you could do it with a straight arm instead. Staying within this twist, switch direction of your circles. Let's straighten those arms out again. Come back through center. Inhale, grow tall through the spine. Exhale, now twist over to the left. Right hand comes to the outside of that left knee, and we trace arm circles with that back left arm. Bent elbow or arm straight doesn't matter. Let's switch direction of the circles. One more. And now coming through center, arms are going to reach up overhead. We're going to rise up into a full kneeling position, and we're going to do a hip hinge as we sweep the arms back and then up overhead. Slide the hips back and up. We're going to hold the hip hinge coming up next, but we'll keep the arm sweep going in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in the hinge position, long spine, just sweep the arms. Pay attention to that connection with your abdominal wall in the front of the rib cage. We're not letting them puff open. Palms are going to face in towards each other. Up next, we're going to take this into a reverse fly. Stay hinged in 3, 2, 1, palms face in towards each other, and then we fly open and close. So the shoulder blades retract in towards each other. They're gliding across the back of your rib cage. The shoulder is a complex joint, right? We have the arm bone, the humerus, plugging into the shoulder joint, but then we also have the scapula, the shoulder blade, and that lives on your back. And the whole unit kind of functions together. Hands are going to come to the mat, tabletop position in 3, 2, 1. Palms to the mat, you're in tabletop. Now keeping your knees down to start, spread out through your hands, and we're going to do serratus push-ups. So to start, I want you to push the floor away, fill the space between your shoulder blades, and then you're going to retract, shoulder blades slide in towards each other. So what we were just doing with that fly, it's that same retracting in and gliding wide, really isolating that scapular movement. Now we're going to keep this going, but we're going to do it with our knees at a hover. In 3, 2, 1, come through neutral, tuck your toes under, lift those knees up to a 1-inch hover, and then go back to your serratus push-up. Scapula retracting and protracting. Stay long through the back of your neck, so don't let your head hang heavy. Give me 4, 3, 2, last time. Hips up, heels down into a down dog, then bend the knees back to the bear plank. Press your hands into the mat, pressing your chest towards your thighs as the hips come up. Twice more. Next time those hips go up, hold them there. Walk your hands in towards your feet. Vertebrae by vertebrae, you're going to roll yourself up to stand, and I'm going to show you a preview of our circuit. First exercise is going to be an Arnold press. Notice there's that sort of circling motion, so palms face in at the bottom. Then you open up, palms face forward as you press up overhead. Second exercise is going to be a bent raise. We're going to go right, left, both together. So elbows are at 90, and then we are lifting them up laterally. Third exercise, you might need to go a little lighter with the weights for this one. It's going to be a rotation from a goalpost position. So you're rotating the forearms parallel to the floor, opening them back up, and then you're going to pull the elbows down to your side and lift back up to that goalpost position. 1 rotation, 1 pull down, and push up. From there, we kind of make that sweeping motion a little bigger. It's going to be a snow angel sweep with 1 shoulder press at the top. You lower those arms back down, making a big circle. Final exercise is going to be a shoulder shaper variation. So palms face in towards you, you press up in front. Shoulder shaper open, you press up wide. Close it in, press up in front, press up wide like that. 40 seconds in exercise. To modify all of these, you just go lighter with the weights. Let's go. All right, so we're going to start off with that Arnold press. I'm going to be using my 10-pound weights to start. Neutral through the pelvis, so you're engaged through your core. I would unlock through your knees. To start, your palms are facing in towards your shoulders. We'll circle them open as we press them up. Let's go. Now, if you notice that you're kind of swaying back and heavily arching into your lower back, you might try a staggered stance instead of feet parallel. So you just take the ball of 1 foot behind the other. That can be helpful. 15 seconds to rest. So next up, we're going to do that bent raise. We go right, left, and then both together. But if going both together is too much, just alternate the whole time. I'm going to stick with my 10s. So again, neutral through the pelvis. We find a 90-degree bend. So biceps are working isometrically here. Bent raise. One side, the other. Can you do both together? So as the elbow lifts, there is upward rotation of the scapula. I don't want you to shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, okay? A little bit of elevation with that upward rotation is normal, but we're not pulling the shoulders up, scrunching them towards our ears. Rest. Okay, I'm going to drop down to my 8 pounds. We have that rotation from a goalpost position, and then we kind of pull down with the elbows and up. So you can start in goalpost. We rotate forward, kind of like a lid closing, rotate open. Pull the elbows down into your sides and press them up. We rotate closed, woo, and open. Pull the elbows down, press them up. Whew, rest, 15 seconds. Okay, so now we're gonna do a big sweep with a shoulder press at the top. So your palms face forward, open through the chest. Your arms are long, but they are not locked out, so keep a little bend to the elbows. Big sweep up, bend the elbows down, press them up, and then slowly return. Rest. All right, final exercise. It's going to be that shoulder shaper combo. I'm going to stick with my 8s, at least for this first round. So it's going to be a shoulder press wide, shaper, shoulder press in front with the forearms parallel, kind of making the number 11. All right, so we press, and then with the elbows at 90, you circle those arms in front of your face. So forearms parallel, press up there. Open them up. Press wide, press in front. Oh, should have dropped to 5s. I will for the next sets. Oh, and done. Okay, so you have a full minute to recover. Full 60 seconds. First time through the circuit complete. We're going to go through it twice more, giving you long recovery time so that you can really push your hardest and so that you don't have to drop down too significantly in weight. That being said, though, don't be afraid to drop down. If form is getting sloppy, you need to go a little lighter. A sign that you need to go lighter, which I noticed myself on that last one, is the temptation to lean back like this and really put weight in your lower back, and if you're staggered in that back foot. So if you're losing that connection to your abdominals and you're unable to stand upright, maybe go a little lighter. Okay, we start at the top of that Arnold press. Let's do this round 2. So unlock through the knees, engage the abdominals to bring that pelvis to neutral, and you might need a gentle engagement through your glutes to hold neutral as well. Arnold press, so palms face in towards you at the bottom, and then circle them, open them up. 40 seconds on, 15 seconds rest. Rest. So you have bent raise up next, elbows will be at 90. So again, isometric work for the biceps as well. We'll go one side, then the other, then both together. To modify, just alternate the whole time. Let's go. To show you from a side angle, if that's helpful. So that L shape of your arm lifts as one unit. rest. Okay, I'm going to drop down to my 8s. So we have that goalpost rotation, and then we kind of pull the elbows down into our sides, lift them back up. So I'm telling you what weights I'm using for everyone. Don't feel like you have to drop down when I drop down. Rotate, open. Pull the elbows down and into your sides, staying open through the chest and not flared through the rib cage. Press them back up or kind of sweep them back up to goalpost. Control that rotation. And again, I'll show you from the side. Now, when you rotate forward, don't roll your shoulder forward. So you're staying open through the chest and you're just rotating within that shoulder joint. Rest. All right, so now we make that sweep a little bigger. Full sweep from the bottom to the top, one shoulder press. Palms face forward, open through the chest, connected to your abdominals, neutral through the pelvis. Let's go. Circle them up. One press down and up with control. Circle them down. Don't let gravity just yank them down. Controlled upward and downward rotation of the scapula here. Oh, rest. All right, I'm going down to 5s for this final one because my form was a little sloppy the first time through. So it's going to be that shoulder shaper combo. We press wide, shape in front of you, press narrow. So start at goalpost, we press up and down. Circle the arms in front of you, palms face in, forearms make the number 11. Press up and down. Open them up. So really try to hold those forearms pretty parallel. Notice if the elbows are wanting to sweep out to the sides, try to hold them in. They don't have to be touching by any means, but think parallel. Rest. Okay, full 60. We're going to go through that one final time. So a good gauge, if you're using the right weights, you should be able to make it through the 40 seconds without form getting wonky, but it should be very challenging towards the end, okay? So those last few reps should really be a challenge for you. So maybe you go up a couple pounds, maybe you have to go down a couple pounds if form's getting sloppy. I'm going to stick to my weight choices, I think, for this final one. Maybe use 5s for the last 2 instead of just the last one, though. We'll see. Arnold press to start, using my 10s. Palms face in towards you at the bottom. They circle forward as you press up. Take a second to notice what's happening to your rib cage when the arms go overhead. If they're flaring open, that probably means you're also deeply arching into your lower back. Now, there is a natural curve to your lower back, but we don't want it to arch too much because then that sets off a chain reaction. Your pelvis will tilt forward in accordance. We want neutral pelvis, neutral lower back, connected to the front of our rib cage because that means we're connected to our abdominal wall. All works together. Woo, rest. All right, bent raise. One side, then the other, then both together. Let's go. Elbows at 90. rest. Okay, dropping down to my 8s. We have that goalpost rotation, and we pull those elbows down, sweep them up. All right, start at goalpost. Rotate down without rolling your shoulders forward, so stay open through the chest, and up. Pull the elbows down by your side, sweep them up to goalpost. Rotate, it's like closing the lid on a box, open. Woo. Rest. Okay, I gotta go to 5s. But stay with the weights you have. If you don't need to drop down, don't drop down, okay? Use what I use as a loose guide, but you gotta do what's best for you. So we have that full sweep with the shoulder press up the top, palms face forward. Big sweep up. Bend the elbows, press them overhead. Sweep down, you're unlocked through the elbows. Check in with that neutral stance. I know the arms are the ones moving and we're focused on shoulders, but what the rest of the body is doing to support this movement is important. Neutral pelvis, connected to your abdominals. Might need a gentle engagement through the glutes to maintain that neutral pelvis. Oh, rest. All right, final exercise, we have that shoulder shaper combo. Press wide, close, press together, open. Final 40 seconds, and then we're done with the weights. Let's do it. Press wide, don't drop the elbows all the way. Circle the arms in front of your face, palms face in, forearms make the number 11. Done. Woo, okay, weights down, we don't need them. You have a minute to recover. I'm gonna show you our resistance band burnout. So you're gonna go light with your band. I know this is blue, but it's a very old band, so it's stretched out, so this is actually my lightest band. You have options for how you're gonna anchor it. One way is you can anchor it like kind of in your groin. You can step your leg through it, just like that. It'll be a little lighter if you anchor it with your hand and just bring it to that hip. If the band isn't working for you, you could also use very light hand weights instead. I'm talking just a couple pounds, and do the whole series holding those instead. So first up, it's going to be a lateral raise. You're lifting that arm out to the side and lowering. From there, we're just going to hold at the top, and it's going to be a little pulse. We then finish with a combo. You pulse wide, slide forward, pulse in front, slide wide, just like that. It's 90 seconds of continuous work. We rest for 30 seconds, and then we repeat 4 times through, alternating sides. Let's do it. Let's start with our right side as the focus, so you're mirroring me. I'm gonna do this first round with it anchored around my leg, but again, you could also hold it in your hand. The hand is a little lighter. Neutral pelvis, palm face down. Lateral raise for the first 45 seconds. So you're just lifting that arm up and lowering it down. Now your arm is wide, but you can see it in your peripheral vision. If your arm is out so far to the side that you can't see it out of the corner of your eye, you're a little too wide, and it probably means you're losing that connection to the front of your rib cage and your abdominals. So the first 45 seconds is in this full range of motion, and then the second 45 seconds, we're holding it up. It's gonna be really tough, okay? We'll pulse wide to start, and then we'll take it to that combo. All right, lift it up wide, and it's a little pulse, up a few inches, down a few inches, up and down. We have that combo up next. We pulse wide, we slide forward, we pulse forward. Let's go. Slide it forward, pulse forward, slide it wide, pulse wide. Woo. 30 seconds here. Yeah, second round, I'm definitely not doing it around my leg. Too heavy. 15 to go. Rest 30 seconds. All right, so we'll switch it over to the left. I'll do this side around my leg just because I did the other side, but then I'm anchoring it elsewhere. So notice when I'm doing all this, my wrist is staying strong. As I lift up, I'm not bending at the wrist. So think of your forearm and your palm as just one long line, okay? You want to hold it straight. All right, left side, neutral to the pelvis, engage through your core. 45 seconds to start, just that lateral raise, lifting and lowering, full range of motion. We lift and we lower. So the downside of anchoring it around your leg is that it's a little heavier. The plus side, though, is that this other arm just gets to relax. It doesn't have to anchor anything into place. So we have our pulses coming up next. We start with 15 seconds of pulsing out to the side. Little pulses, down and up. And then we take it into our pulse combo. We pulse wide, we slide forward, we pulse forward. Let's go. Pulse it wide. Slide it forward. Pulse it forward. $15 to go. Done. Man, my arm was dropping low on that one. Okay, 30 seconds to rest. So I'm not going to anchor on my leg anymore. I can't do that. So I'm going to grip it in my opposite hand. My left hand is going to anchor it to my right hip, and then my right arm will do that same sequence. You can also do this kneeling. If that works better for you, you can do it both knees down, or you can do it in kind of a kneeling split lunge position. All right, palms face the floor. Lateral raise. I want you to notice as you lift and lower the arm, especially when we get to the pulses, are you shifting through your rib cage side to side at all? I want you to try to keep it centered. When we get fatigued, it's when we start to kind of squirm and come out of neutral. So just be mindful of it. Yes, the arm is moving, but the rest of the body is helping to hold a position so that the arm can move most effectively. So we want to pay attention to the rest of the body as well. We'll pulse at the top coming up. Let's go, lift it up, little pulses. We'll take it to our combo, pulse wide, slide forward, pulse forward. Let's go, pulse it wide. Slide it forward, pulse it forward, pulse up, slide, pulse up, slide. Under 15 seconds, and then you're done on this side. Stay open through the chest so that you're not rounding your shoulders forward. Done. Oh, rest for 30 seconds. Okay, one final time through, and then we do some stretches and we cool it down. So my right fist is going to be anchored against my left hip. Left arm will be moving, so you're mirroring me. Open through the chest, but connected to the front of your ribs. Unlock through the knees. Might need a gentle engagement through the glutes to hold that pelvis neutral. And we're off. Lateral raise, first half of this. lifting and lowering. If the band is going slack, you might just have to move your right fist over to the right a little bit. We're approaching the second half. We'll start with the lateral pulses. Let's go. 15 seconds. Pulse it wide. Little lift and lower. Little lift and lower. Your arm doesn't have to go higher than shoulder height, so don't worry if it's not super high. Let's combo. Slide it forward. Pulse. In under 30 seconds, you're done with your workout, okay? Can you give me 15 more seconds? Don't drop. Done. Oh man, I was shaky at the end there. Awesome work. Take a second to just shake it out. Swing those arms forward and back. Release some tension. I'm going to bring you through a quick cool down. Shut my timer off. To start, I want you to interlace the fingers in front of you, flip the palms, and just press forward, rounding your spine forward. So we're kind of separating the shoulder blades. We're wide across our mid-back. Couple breaths here. Direct that breath into your mid-back. Stacking the spine up tall, release the fingers, and now I want you to interlace behind your back, and I want you to press the knuckles back, opening up through the chest. And then from here, I want you to separate your feet nice and wide, and we're going to fold forward, knuckles up towards the ceiling. If your shoulders are a little too tight for this one, then you can do it holding a towel so that your hands are farther apart, and that'll make it a little nicer for your shoulders. Whoa, did I just say farther with a Boston accent? That's scary. Been living here too long. Staying in your forward fold, I want you to release the hands and just let those arms hang down. Now I want you to plant the right hand in center, and we're going to twist open left arm up towards the ceiling, and then bend the elbow and bring that hand behind your back. If this is too much of a shoulder stretch, you can just keep the arm reaching up towards the ceiling. Let's come through center, switch sides. So now your left hand plants in the middle, twist open right arm to the ceiling, then bend the elbow, bring that hand behind your back. Coming through center, both hands on the mat. I want you to bend into your right knee as you walk your hands over to the right, and then step your right foot back so you're in a plank position, and with control, just lower yourself all the way down to lay on your stomach in a prone position. Now I want you to take your left arm and reach it out in a T, tense your right fingertips, elbow up towards the ceiling, and then let's kick that right foot up and over, coming into the spinal twist. Hopefully I'm not totally cut off in the video down here, but so a nice opening through the front of that shoulder here and across the chest. We'll take it to the other side when you're ready. So the right arm reaches long, tent the left fingertips, elbows to the ceiling, and then kick that left foot up and over, coming into a twist. Oh, that feels so good. Come back to lay on your stomach, one hand under each shoulder. Keep your knees down, and we're just going to press up and back into a child's pose, and we will finish class here. Reach those hands forward, maybe forehead to the mat. Knees can be as wide as feels good for your hips. And let's just take a couple deep breaths here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more. And that is your class. Awesome work. If you enjoyed this, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new workouts here for free every Monday with a bunch of additional ones going up for Patreon members. All the Patreon videos, they're still on YouTube. They're just private YouTube videos, and becoming a Patreon member for $9.99 a month grants you access to those as well as a monthly calendar. All right, I will see you guys next time. I appreciate the support.